Hey guys, welcome to another unbox and review of Soto Kamen Rider AI 10 featuring Gia. Alright, as always, I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos, and yeah, like I said in the last review, at the same time I got AI 09, I got AI 10. So we're going to do something pretty similar in that we're going to just unbox each of these individually and then take a look at the contents, see what I think. Anyway, let's head over to the review station. Alright, so here they all are, out of package, and they are looking especially evil. Yeah, so this is a pretty villain-focused wave, you know, especially for the very last wave of this line, so that's pretty neat, especially since the narrative around villains is that they don't typically do them because they don't sell too well. Also, just so it didn't feel too super villainy, they managed to give us an accessory set that we'll take a look at the end, or rather in the middle, and then we're going to move into the Geo coverage. But before that, we're going to dive into these individually. First up, we have Arc 1. Alright, so Arc 1, definitely the star of this wave. He's looking pretty good. I'm not going to give any spoilers because, you know, I like to remain spoiler-free here. But very, very accurate in terms of, like, the silhouette. The only thing that I would really change is I would give him more of a slouch and maybe, like, a bulked-up feel right around the sort of shoulder, neck area. And then also something to note, the fists. So this is another situation just like with Arc 0, where the blog was not, or the developers told us in the blog that they were not told too far in advance what any of his weapons would be like, or if he was doing the same thing where like he'd reuse other people's weapons. So he was given punchy fists, and you know what? It's oddly fitting. Also, another thing I really wanted to mention was that the paint matching done here on the whites was not the best, because, I mean, it's coming through on camera. It's looking like the stickers and the painted whites are not as vibrant and as pearlescent as the plastic. And I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's just my eyes, but it's looking like this chest detail, or this chest piece, has a little bit of pink to it. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how this plastic works. But what I do know is that this plastic is PVC, and it's all fully painted because of it. Something different here is that we are, for the first time in, I don't know, I don't remember the any other time that this has happened, but we are getting stickers on PVC plastic. The blog notes that, you know, every time they talk about PVC, the plasticizer they use in order to make the figure, or that part of the figure, squishy, does not work well with stickers. But during the pandemic and all that stuff, they were given a little extra time to do a few more tests on this material, and it came back that the stickers actually held up. So this is, once again, our first time getting stickers on PVC. But yeah, all the details are here. I'm liking this figure a lot. Once again, as all Soto figures do, stand, hands, your standard lot. Anyway, that's it for Arc 1, who's looking fantastic. One of my favorites. Let's move on into the next figure.
Dodo! Cinder Blaze! Dodo!
right, and we've got the
Dodomagia.
and he's looking very, well, familiar. From the waist up, he's basically the Dodomagia chick, and from the waist down, he is basically the regular Dodomagia that will, well, not regular, this Dodomagia that we will be taking a look at after. So we'll get into the similarities there. Really, the only thing that's different with this figure is the back plate, because there are holes in here for an accessory that he does not have. The thing is, this figure, just because it is made up of molds that already exist, is only one figure per box. I mean, one box per figure. You only need the one box, so it does not come with a stand, does not come with accessories, but it comes with the whole figure and 2 hands. So, you know, there is a lot of value proposition here for this Dodomagia, and this is technically the first form. We'll get into nomenclature later, but yeah, I appreciate that it exists, just because no other line is doing this figure. But there is a thing here that I'm really not happy about, and they are the feet stickers. I already don't like feet stickers, and I also don't like harping on stickers too much, but this figure and this wave in total don't really have some of the best stickers. These specifically have toes, or at least the sculpt has toes, and then the stickers try to fill it in, and they do a horrible job. Like, they bunch up at the bottoms as well, so like if you're placing it on the floor, because check it out, no stand, those are gonna scrape and rub against the floor, and that really sucks. So I don't know, these toe stickers were just really not the best option. If they could have just taken away some of the detail or something, like, I don't know, there are ways that you can mitigate it, or at least like make the geometries fit the toes a bit better, or even make the geometries of the toes a lot less round so that they actually all line up. You know, I just don't, I'm not a big fan of it. And it also sucks that like the majority of the red on this figure, outside of the head, is done up in stickers. Like, it's fine for the straps, but these legs, not the best look. I mean, it is a nice shimmery sticker, but outside of that, like, I don't know. This figure to me is really a mixed bag. Like I said, happy it exists at all. I mean, that's a lot more than I can say for most lines, but there are issues with this figure, and I can't fully recommend this one. But with that said, there are a lot of other things to discuss with this figure that relate to this one. So without further ado, let's hop on from the Dodomagia to the Dodomagia.
Sexy Man Rise.
Alright, so we are once again here with the Dodomagia, except, you know, very different. And I do say Dodomagia because, yeah, he is named Dodomagia as well as this figure. They're both named Dodomagia because in the show, there is no distinction between the two. They are the same character, and this is just the base form, like the first form, and this is the final form, the third form. Yeah, the show did not make any distinction, and nor will the stickers. Like I was saying with the base form, first form Dodomagia, they share the same legs, so we've already talked about this really before. The only problem is no improvements have been made here, like no paint detail, no extra paint detail, and we still have those very, very terrible toe stickers. Like, it was one thing for this box to make me do that once, but for me to have done it twice makes me a little extra salty. And like I was saying with the Dodomagia the first time, there are just a lot of stickers that are ill-conceived and just don't work with a lot of these figures. This one is no exception. Here with these missile pods, they're not the best. They always tend to lift. But in terms of like placement, here at the head, I don't know if you can see that notch in that eye sticker. By the way, this is all one sticker here on this side. that notch is supposed to line up with this antenna, and it just doesn't. Like, and I did it twice, and it didn't work both times. I tried to anchor it with this little lip area, and I guess I failed, like, really miserably, because it's tough to get all that together. Soto does this thing where, like, it refuses to cut up the sticker for some reason, and for the life of me, I don't know why. So this was not helpful for those eyes. Though, speaking of eye stickers, these ones underneath the head, these work perfectly fine. In terms of other detail, though, there are plenty, and I mean plenty, of PVC parts. All this back here is done in PVC. All these tendrils are done in PVC. When you have it on the figure itself, you do not have impeded range of motion, really. So that's really nice that they were able to do that. They knew going in that that would be difficult to do in ABS, which is, you know, the standard hard ABS. So it's great that they gave us all that. Another thing, though, is that he has swords. So this is 2 boxes to make this figure, and he does have weapons. He also has a second one, which is somewhere. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. All right, here it is. He has a second one, and they do all have these pegs in the back, or at least both of these. For this sticker, though, it is easy to smooth these into the crevices, so I do like that. But back to these pegs, he does not have anything on his backpack, which, one, is a very cool backpack. That's really nice. But he does not have any pegs for them. But do you know who does? That's right, the original Dodomagia. So basically, you can take that sword and peg it in and have it as the feathers. For this figure, this figure is 1 per box. 1 figure in 1 box, so it does not have room for weapons. And I feel like these weapons do technically belong to this one, because, like I said, he does not have any sort of pegs or anything for those to fit into. But also, if you take an Ikazuchi, he has those swords, and they do not have the pegs at all. So it would, if you wanted to get an extra pair of swords for this guy, these swords are perfectly serviceable. If you've got an extra Ikazuchi lying around, which I'm not quite sure why you would, but if you do, you can do that. It's perfectly possible. And I feel like these swords work a lot better with him just because, once again, does not have that back peg sort of gimmick. So that's nice. Again, if you want to. Ideally, if I had an extra one, I would give it to this guy. But also, I was saying, this guy is the 3rd version of the Dodomagia, and this one is the 1st version. There is supposed to be a 2nd version, and they did note that they were not able to make the 2nd version. Basically, it's supposed to look a lot like this. But that ball joint here, actually both these ball joints here, make sure that that is not possible. So that kind of sucks. But, hopefully sometime in the future, since we are still getting a bunch of 0-1 stuff in Kamen Rider Saber, the next line, hopefully we'll get an updated head just to plunk onto this one, just in an accessory set or something. Anyway, that's it for the Dodomagia duo, I guess. It's a really nice wrap up for all the Dodomagia stuff. This one will remain headless for a while. But yeah, it's really nice to have all of these, because the thing is, no other line is doing these figures, and it's nice to have them at all, despite all the misgivings I have about the stickers. They at least exist, and that's a lot more than I can say for any other line. RKF! Anyway, we are done with the Dodomagia. Now let's move on into the very last bit of Soto 01 stuff.
Shotgun ride. Frog rise. Fly to the sky. Flying falcon. Off Jump Rise. Lightning Hornet! Hedgehog ability.
So now let's take a look at the Shodo-01 accessory set, and there's quite a lot of stuff here. So we're going to take a look at these in order of importance, at least importance to me. So that means the least important thing that we got was the second attached shotgun. Now this is technically a variant. Can you tell what is different between this one and the original? No? Yes? I mean, yes, if you have been paying attention to these, but there is, at the bottom of this, a progress key loaded in, so it is technically different. And hey, it's nice just to get a second attached shotgun, because the only time it ever came out was with Lightning Hornet, so it only ever got one release, so it's nice to have just a second one available. So yeah, that's really neat, but once again, not the most important thing. The second most important thing is the second version of the Attach Arrow, I believe the name is. And basically, there is something very different with this one. The original release was not pulled back, so it's really awesome that we got this variant. I actually really like this. It would have been nice to get a second one, just because Jin also had a closed up version, but you know, I guess you could just buy a second one. And this looks really nice. I can't tell if like the progress key is loaded, or like if you'd even be able to tell. Is that possible in this mode? I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it is. Actually, yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know where it goes. The thing is, I don't know too much about like the actual DX toy itself, just to compare. But it looks good. Like, this looks really nice, and I absolutely love it. So this is a wonderful, wonderful variant. Next important item is, well, 01's holding it. He's got the progress key option hands. So if you've been collecting 01 for a while, you have quite a few option hands for him already, and this is already outside the scope of what he's capable of holding on his stand. But hey, that's fine. Always more options, or having more options is always a fun time. He's also got this brand new belt. This is the closed up version with no progress key inserted, which is why it came with progress keys. This is the closed up version right here. The closed up version is missing this green detail here, so that is technically something new, and I very much appreciate that. That is not the only hand it comes with though, because it also has a closed progress key hand, holding that closed progress key. That's very nice as well. There's tons of detail in here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Ooh, wow. That light is hitting it just right. Look at all that detail. Loving it. And hey, if you want, you can choose to cover all that lovely detail with these stickers. And they do give you options, and only one pair of these hands. So, I can't quite tell what we get. I know we at least have the regular 01, the Flying Falcon, and then probably like 4 other ones. Is that a mammoth in there? I can't really tell. So yeah, I just didn't choose to put any of them on, so you can pretend that this is any of them. Anyways, that's it for those upgrades. Let's take a look at the biggest upgrade of this set. The biggest glow up yet. It is the Lightning Hornet Valkyrie upgrade, accessory, blah blah blah. Lots of words you can use for this, but it's all really, really cool. So, basically what they did, and what the, I guess the surveys had all responded with was, hey, we want wings for Lightning Hornet, and the initial black backplate that they gave us did not have any holes, so even people who wanted to make their own weren't able to, unless, you know, you wanted to drill into it yourself. But they gave us a brand new back plate with, well, white wings on the back, but if you have the stickers on just on one side, you have these very beautiful and vibrant wings. So I do appreciate that. That's really nice. It adds a lot to this figure and its silhouette. I don't know. I'm just now noticing this. I don't know where that went. Oh well. Another thing to note is that they gave us a brand new foot with the stinger attached. So this is the original foot, and this is the new one. This one is molded in white and painted blue. And you know what? That paint match is not too bad. Another thing they sort of added to this one was that there's a cutout typically on the side just to give it that, like, you know, sideways ankle tilt, which is always really nice. But in this new release, they knew you'd only be kicking with this one mostly. They put the cutout in the back so that, let's see, you can get a bit more range in terms of like a toe point. And here is really the difference side by side. It's, you know, only a few degrees, but I think it makes a pretty big difference. So I definitely appreciate just the thought that went into this. And another thing, this is a separate piece, and I believe that is to help with the stickering, because this sticker, I don't want to say it's tough, but like, you know, you're gonna need some extra space to like put this down. So I really like the extra clearance that they gave us. It ends just without giving us the rest of the bottom, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but it's really strange, and I don't know that I like it. Either way, though, I like this figure. I like this upgrade to the figure, because, once again, it's one of the ones that I really liked, and it's nice to see this thing get an upgrade. Anyway, that's it for the accessory set, and really, that's it for the majority of the 01 stuff. After this, we're going to be moving on into the Another Riders, which is going to be very exciting. The next one is another 01, so technically some 01 stuff. Anyway, let's move on to that. Oh, wait, before that, we've got an extra display stand. They give you an extra display stand in this one, so keep that in mind. They noted that there aren't enough display stands for any of the figures, so they just gave you an extra stand, which, you know, I could definitely use, at least in this wave, for the Dodomagia, but that figure doesn't really deserve it, in my opinion, so this is probably going to go to someone else. Anyway, like I said, there's all this stuff. Let's move on. Hey, look at this friendly nerd. It's another 01. And man, this thing, like, I know it's supposed to be menacing or whatever, but oh, it's so adorable. Look at that smile he's got on. I love this figure. There are a few not great things about it, but overall, this is one of my favorites of the wave. He looks so friendly. And you know what? The Another Riders, they came back for another wave, and this is really cool. I know there are a lot of people who started collecting 01 without having any of the Geo stuff. I get it. I understand why you're a little upset that this showed up in the very last wave. But hey, I mean, I can't do anything to help you there, but I really like this. This is a wonderful, wonderful figure, and there are tons and tons of little itty-bitty pieces of detail in here. Tons of carvings, tons of markings. Everything is so considered for this figure. Like, even this back plate, not only does it have tons of detail, but it is, you know, a separate piece to, oh, come on, why don't you come off? You know, there are typically, you know, there's typically one back plate, but this one needed two just, you know, to make those wings happen. And to me, the wings are a very important part to the silhouette, and I'm very happy that they got like this dedicated little sculpt, and it gives it like this really nice collar. The head is made out of PVC plastic, or at least the face is, so we are getting that that painted look here because, you know, not many stickers appear on PVC, so yeah, that's really good. The chest, they did want to paint it. They actually did want to paint it, but the thing is, they would not be able to get all these black little details in there, so I guess I kind of get it. Like, I understand why they did it, but it would have been nice to have a little bit more paint on here, because a lot of this, I think just the legs and the face are the only things painted. These stickers here, they do an okay job at paint matching with the paint itself, and it's just nice to have those name details in there, just all nice and crisp. Also, he comes with an extra attached caliber, which isn't even the longer version that we got released with 02, which is a little disappointing, but you know, it's, I mean, then again, we've had this sword a lot. We could have just gone without it and gotten something else. I don't know what else it would have been. Maybe just a different weapon for someone else. Who knows? Soto has done that before. But yeah, overall though, I love this figure. This is such a good time. Look at that smile. Look, he's so happy to be here. How do you not love this guy? I know you're probably just collecting 01. I totally get it, but come on, look at that smile. Look at that smile. And he is another 01. He showed up in a 01 movie. He is technically a 01 villain. So he does count. He absolutely does count. Anyway, that's it for one of my favorite figures of this wave. Is that sticker lifting? No. But yeah, that's it for one of my favorite figures of this wave. Easily one of the best. Let's move on into the final figure of this wave, another Decade.
Zero-one!
Oh!
どうぞ。
そうか。調子はどう？
己ジオ。
シュワッツ。
ああ、そうして。友達。
ありえない。飛竜。
あ、私、いえ。私たちはあなたの存在を割らせるためにここにいます。はあ。お、たくさん。
心配しないで。自分の友達がいます。偉いな。自分の力。
宇宙？ん？きつー！
お、先輩。
おいおい、落ち着きな。
おっす。お、神様。よ。
仮面ライダーだよね。
お。
覚えとけ。さあ、行くよ、後輩。
お前を止められるのはただ一人チーム俺たちだ。
おのれ、仮面ライダー。
Whoa, don't stand so close. You're disgusting. Oh my god, why would you do that to the people? That was horrifying. Anyway, this is another Decade. Oh my god. Geo's final villain in 01's final wave. Fantastic. This figure is a mixed bag. There's a lot I like about him and a lot that I dislike about him. The first thing, like right off the bat, I did want to mention that with this figure, they did want to say that Geo is done. Geo is basically done. This is the last figure that they will make for Geo items, which, I mean, Soto could easily renege on that and just do something Geo related later. But for now, for the time being, this is it for Geo. And like I said, it's a bit of a mixed bag. These stickers, this face, okay, let's talk about it. This is the elephant in the room. Face stickers, they don't look good. Oh man, and they are peeling up there. Any of these corners are like really delicate. But yeah, that is not the best look, but look at the source material. I mean, you're not provided with much, so I totally get why they did this. They even have it so that each of these little ear area, are these ears? Are these eyes? What are they? These little horn, are they horns? Oh god. These little sections here are separate. You can separate them. And man, this sticker, oh god. Look at that. Are you seeing that? That just happened live. This is pre-recorded. What am I saying? This is the best that they could do with what they had. So it doesn't look great. I understand. But I will forgive it just, you know, by virtue of it actually existing. I don't want to give them all a pass because of that. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do here? Come on. Do you have any better ideas? Are you a toy designer? I will defend this. I know it doesn't look good. It's probably not the best, and it does chafe a bit. But what are you gonna do? How else are you gonna get a figure of this? I like the look of this figure. Like, with all that said, it is relatively accurate. It's got the teeth. It's got all that stuff. And, you know, it kind of gets into the crevices a lot better than I thought they would. So this is, to me, perfectly serviceable. And, you know, is prepared to lead the rest of my Another Riders, as you saw earlier. The rest of this figure, though, is, like, super chunky. Like, there's a lot of dense plastic in this guy. He comes with no weapons, but, like, there's tons of plastic in him. This is a very, very wide torso we've got going on here, and on top of that, we have all this other detail. And on top of that, we have these PVC sort of, I guess, skirt pieces that, when you kick out, oops, yeah, that happens a lot. I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, like, I appreciate that they're there, but the ease with which these come off is a little off. Oh, but they look nice. They look very nice. I like them. But yeah, like I said, mixed bag. I like that we have them. But, you know, it's tough to play with this figure as much just because those fall off a little more. Outside of that, though, he's like, oh, shoot, wow. He is dead solid. I didn't think it would make that sound. He is dead solid. I like the look. I like the intent of this figure. Some of the execution is a bit off. Even here with the two different colors of sticker, like, I don't know if in the show they're supposed to be different, but they very much look different here. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, mixed bag. I like it. I appreciate it. But, you know, there are some misgivings with this one. Oh, also, if you're stupid like me, they have a right and a left side, so you don't forget. So yeah, that's neat. This is the final Geo figure, which is kind of sad because I wanted some more Aqua stuff. I wanted some more, you know, there's plenty of stuff. There's plenty of Another Riders that needed to come around. But hey, as the final figure of Geo, I think it's fine. Like, it's perfectly fine. And you know what? If you don't want this, you could probably just go to Mandarake yourself and get the rest of the 01 stuff. This is easily skippable if, you know, you don't actually need it. For my collection, like, I am a completist, so I make a lot of excuses, so I do have a bias. I like this. I think it's fine. It's just that face. Like, it's tough. I'm bouncing back and forth. But I really hope, you know, with some glue, with some glue sticks, you know, maybe I could stick that down a little better. Anyway, that's it for this video. Oh, you know, comes with stand, hands. Yeah, the standard Soto fare. It looks fine. I'm fine. This is fine. Maybe this whole review for this figure has just been me trying to justify me liking this. But yeah, anyway, that's it for this figure, and yeah, and all these figures as a whole. So let's hop on over to the full overview. So typically, I like to distinguish myself as more of a Soto fan first than I am a Kamen Rider 01 fan. And this basically serves that purpose to a T. Like, it's got plenty of your 0-1 items, and it's got plenty of your Geo items. So like, as a Soto experience, as part of the whole Soto experience, if you've been collecting it the whole time, these are absolute must-buys. But the thing is, I totally get that if you are just a 0-1 fan, really, if anything, this is probably all you really need. And I get that. And maybe even the accessories to an extent, because these are some really nice accessories. But yeah, I totally understand that the rest of these figures are very much skippable for a lot of people. But for me, like I said, as a Soto fan first, I think this set really shines. It shows you pretty much what Soto is and has always been capable of, and that is taking care of the more obscure figures, and I really appreciate it. A lot of the budget and the budgeting is really on perfect display here, just because, you know, we saw how this figure was able to translate, that figure was able to translate into getting this figure for a cheaper price. And then on top of that, Soto is always in the market of giving you the obscure figures, and everything outside of Arc Zero is pretty obscure. Like, no other line, like I said, no other line would ever try to do the Dodomagia, and it's commendable that Soto actually did it, so I very much appreciate it. These two figures are something that Soto is only capable of doing. Maybe figure arts for these two, if you're really special, but like, you know, these are perfectly serviceable. These are for the completionist. Soto is for the completionist. And at the end of the line, as we're pushing for the final stuff of this wave, it's really nice to see some representation of the obscure, not just the heavy hitters. And I think that's really Soto's whole message. Like, they are doing their best to get some of the most obscure stuff out there, and I can't fault it at all. This is Soto to a T. This is one of my favorite sets. It basically tells you everything you need to know about Soto and what it's all about and what its priorities are. And I feel like it just really adds to the experience. But like I said, like, individually though, these figures have some issues, specifically these two, and I'm still bouncing back and forth. Do I like this one? I think I like this one, but there are some really bad things about it. Like I said, I'm a Soto fan. This is my bias, so, you know, take that for what you will. Take my opinion with a grain of salt. I really appreciate these figures. I like the selection and the audacity to even do some of these, even at the end of its line. I know 01's not totally done. There's tons of figures, even coming up in Saber, but for me, this is a wonderful, wonderful experience. And you know what? Hey, if that's not for you, I totally get it. There are plenty of people that only want 01 stuff. And, you know, there's Mandarake for you, and you have those resources. But for me, I really appreciate this. This is a really good set for me, and what a way to end a line. Anyways, that's it for me for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to say a lot of fun making it, but it was a lot of heartache, a lot of stress. So I really hope you liked those little interstitials I did. I want to give a special thank you, special shout out to Josh Perry for doing, or Living Ranger Key, Lightning Pig PR, that he's all one person, for giving me the voice of 01 or Geo, as well as some various growls in the background. I want to thank Malunis for coming through and doing both Momotaro, Steno, and Forze. Oh, as well as Dan, who was in the background shot with another O's. And then Chris Long of Long's Toys for doing the voice of Shotaro for Double. my buddy Alex, Cinder Blaze on Twitter. All their links are in the description down below. He did another GO, and hey, hopefully this makes it in time. But I asked Rye, Collector Shuki, to do just Oz's in the background of that shot. So special thanks to all those people. I really appreciate you guys helping me put this together. This is a labor of love because I really love Shoto, and yeah, what a way to go out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell me in the comments down below, did you like this wave? What are you more a fan of, Shoto or Kamen Rider, and how did this wave help you out? Were you a fan of GO to begin with? Were you collecting that? But yeah, anyway, there are also links in the description down below to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, whatever you do. As long as you do it, it absolutely helps. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep it juicy.